Say that you want riches.
Chapter 2 of the Bible. Make an effort to read it. It is written, the whole universe was completed. By the seventh day, God had finished the work he had been doing. So on the seventh day, he rested from all his work. He blessed the seventh day because by that day he had completed his creation and stopped working, and that is how the universe was created. Okay, so what time should a day start and what time should a day end? Let no one deceive you. Then the Lord God took some soil from the ground and formed a man out of it. He breathed life-giving breath into his nostrils, and the man began to live. And the Lord God planted a garden in Eden in the east, and there he put the man whom he had formed. Out of the ground the Lord God made to grow every tree that is pleasant to the sight and good for food, the tree of life also in the midst of the garden, and the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. A river flows out of Eden to water the garden, and from there it divides and becomes 4 branches. The name of the first is Pishon. It is one that flows around the whole land of Havilah, where there is gold, and the gold of that land is good. Bdellium, I hope I've pronounced it correctly. It's a rare perfume. And onyx stone. Uh, these are actually precious stones are there. The name of the second river is Gihon. It is one that flows around the whole land of Cush. The name of the third river is Tigris, also known as Hiddekel. I hope I've pronounced it correctly, which flows east of Assyria. And the fourth river is Euphrates. First river, Pishon, the country of Havilah. Anyone who knows where it is? Anyone? Because pure gold is found there, and also rare perfume and precious stones. Okay, so identifying the exact location is very hard. That is the location of where the Garden of Eden is. On the verse, it tells us it was planted eastward in Eden. Since the writer was probably in Egypt or Palestine, eastward from that point would place the garden in the direction of Arabia or Mesopotamia. Two of the rivers issuing from the garden are known to us as Tigris and Euphrates. The identities of the other 2 rivers named are unknown, although scholars or learned persons, have considered locations ranging from the Nile River in Africa to the Indus River in India. So we continue, or I continue. So let's continue. The Lord God took the man and put him in the Garden of Eden to till it and keep it. And the Lord God commanded the man, you may freely eat of every tree of the garden, but of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil you shall not eat. For in the day that you eat of it you shall die. Then the Lord God said, it is not good that the man should be alone. I will make him a helper as his partner. So out of the ground the Lord God formed every animal of the field and every bird of the air, and brought them to the man to see what he would call them. And whatever the man called, Every living creature, that was its name. The man gave names to all cattle and to the birds of the air and to every animal of the field. But for the man there was not found a helper as his partner. So the Lord God caused a deep sleep to fall upon the man, and he slept. Then he took one of his ribs and closed up its place with flesh. And the rib that the Lord God had taken from the man he made into a woman and brought her to the man. Then the man said, "This at last is bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh. This one shall be called woman, for out of man this was taken." Therefore a man leaves his father and his mother and clings to his wife, and they become one flesh. And the man and his wife were both naked and were not ashamed. So, why do people in some wedding say, "This is my rib"? Do you think it is proper to say that? What about those people who have a couple of wives? Well, there's an answer for it. Why did God say, when you eat of the fruit, you will surely die? Did he mean die internally? Or did he mean like you just actually die? So I've said there's an answer for it. Previously, we discussed chapter 1 of the Bible. Next, we will discuss chapter 3. God willing, it will be soon.
Without Jesus, you ain't nothing.